Hey guys, this is Coach Brian Hart, and today we're going to be looking at fixed and growth mindsets. Now, if you've ever worked with a teenager, you've likely run into a fixed mindset. And this, by the way, works with teenagers and adults. It's just a good tool to be aware of and something to listen to or listen for in conversations. But if you ever worked with a teenager, you've likely run into a fixed mindset where the teenager just begins to identify themselves in certain ways, such as, I'm more of a C student, really, instead of an A student. Or I'm not really a math guy. I'm not really a science guy. I'm not really into English. They would probably say I'm not an English guy, unless they are. But I'm just not really into English, or whatever subject it might be. Now, this might have come from some experiences they've had with some teachers, or a failure in the past that they never really quite got over or caught up from, and they have taken the feedback that they've gotten. They see the C grades and the lack of progress, the struggle that they have, the amount of stress that they get, the feedback from the teachers, the feedback from the parents, and they identify themselves as a person who does that, instead of seeing the results as something to change based on a different system, based on a different approach. So, as you can imagine, this is so important in a coaching conversation. When you hear a fixed mindset, to explore it with the client and to begin asking questions, powerful questions about that fixed mindset in a growth-oriented way. Now, what do I mean? Well, what's the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset? As a father, if I were to have like a really bad week or a really horrible day as a father, I could easily say, I'm just not a good father. And I would be thinking in a fixed mindset, right? And that's, feedback from how my kids acted in public, and I was embarrassed, and I just can't imagine how this happened. I'm just not a good father. Now, that's a fixed mindset. And a growth mindset, and when I've got my growth mindset on, I might be asking the question or saying something like, today was a 4 out of 10 as a dad. I had a 4 out of 10 day. What did I learn from this? Who do I want to be for my kids instead of the 4 out of 10? What would it take for me to take the 4 out of 10 and push it up to a 6 out of 10? Also, regardless of who you work with, teenagers, non-teenagers, adults, whatever, you will often run into the most common form of a fixed mindset, and that is, I am a procrastinator. That is a great opportunity in a coaching conversation to say, really great, thank you for sharing that. What is going on when you begin to procrastinate? What is going on, at what point in this activity do you choose to procrastinate? And as a life coach, you can ask that growth-oriented type of question. It's a little bit directional, and sometimes that's okay, but you're asking the question in a growth-oriented way instead of the fixed way. You're not asking, why are you a procrastinator? Instead, you're going back to the action. At what point are you procrastinating? And how do you know that you're procrastinating? And really explore that. What was the client being? What are they learning from the procrastination? What's great about the procrastination? And explore, get excited about what's going on in the moment to help the client step out of the fixed mindset and get back to growth. Because in the end, that's the client's agenda. And we get to help them walk through that process. So the fixed and growth mindsets, they're great to be aware of. I hope this was helpful for you, as we all here as life coaches are seeking to have a growth mindset, continue to grow, continue to help others to grow through your coaching. And as a next step to be able to grow, two things. Powerful questions are one of the most foundational things within coaching. And there's a wide range of how, a little bit directional the powerful coaching questions can be, and very client-centered powerful coaching questions are as a life coach. And so this video is just a foundational video about the standards of powerful questions in life coaching. And the second video is just a story about fixed and growth mindsets from my work with teenagers, from one conversation I had with a teenager that was just really fun because it illustrates what can happen when a powerful question hits a student in a conversation when they have presented a fixed mindset and all of a sudden they get what they've done to themselves by doing that self-identification, and they want to grow. It's really exciting. and I hope that it is helpful for you. Again, thank you for joining us here, and continue to grow.